podcast. If you go to new, you've got a podcast and a blog down here. Just hit podcast. Over here, I've got your Libsyn all ready to go. These have all of your uploaded stuff. This is pretty straightforward, so it's just going to be your title's going to go there, and then here's your social options. Here's your SEO settings if you want to change those. But the main stuff we're going to worry about is down here. Here's a banner. You can add a banner if you want. It doesn't much matter. If you want to leave it blank, it'll just pull in a random one. Blog info, same thing. Story image, that is going to be this guy. Just try to keep him about 500 pixels by 500 pixels, but you can even put in a giant rectangular image. It'll just crop it to a square right in the center. The excerpt is going to be this, whatever shows up in this. So it's basically going to be your content, but just with 200 characters max. It'll cut you off by the time you get there. And then main content, this is basically going to be the main body of the page when you click into it. And there's a little, this is called a flexible layout. So there's a little section here. You can add in like a list of podcasts. You can add in a cool little header. For the most part, we can go into this at a later date and get right down to the nitty gritty of it. But for the most part, you're going to be using just paragraph. And then there's this little edit button there. And you can kind of dive in here. And this is your, more or less just your editor that your editors or your blog writers have been using. And you can pretty much just do, you know, whatever you want, throwing in your content. And then when you're done that, you can just pop down here. If you go over to text, this is kind of like the raw code of it. And then you can just come back over to your Libsyn, grab one of these little embed codes. There's a preview get embed code. And just copy that, paste it over here, and then hit the X on this. You don't need to save it if you don't want to. Or rather, there's no save button, just hit the X. It's all in there. And then you can give it a category if you want, hit publish, and that's all you need to do.